Joining us this morning on your Spotlight on Now is Nicole Young, Councillor for Belmont East. And we're talking about keeping the Christmas community spirit alive, which is something that Nicole is ensuring is alive and well. Good morning, Nicole. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Natasha.
Thanks for being here. I mean, it's a very busy season
Extremely.
for you, aside from, of course, family, friends, just working within the community as well.
Yeah, Christmas for me I feel different emotions.
Yeah.
I love Christmas, but at the same time, it also means a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the work. It's a labor of love. So recently, I would have had 2 events. So it's been a very hectic weekend. First, we tackled the children we tackled the seniors.
Okay.
But then, of course, we tackled the children because Christmas is about children. On Saturday, every single day I do it. Since I've been a councillor, I find a senior citizen within my community who may need the help. They may be living on their own, or they may have some sort of illness, and we try to bring some Christmas cheer to them by repainting their house or cleaning their yard for them and just kind of lifting their spirits. So we did that this Saturday. We went to Mr. and Mrs. Luke, an elderly couple within the Belmont community. And me and the team, we went and we painted their home, and we carried, music and chair and hampers and all of that, just to kind of uplift their spirits. And we do it. This is the 3rd year running.
That is such a heartwarming initiative to hear about. And as you said, it's your 3rd year running. And we don't consider the impact of COVID-19 as well, and what it would have done to our elderly community. So being able to have that outpouring of love, and also having some young people in the home as well.
Of course.
Because I'm assuming that when you go in with a young, energetic
Everybody,
team.
mostly young people. Last year was mostly teenagers. This year was only women.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah, girl power. Ain't nothing like girl power. So, yeah. The thing about it is that I don't think people realize, we talk about the children a lot.
Right.
Them not being in school and how that had an effect on them emotionally, psychologically, but we forget about the elders.
Yeah.
A lot of them could not go out because of the COVID-19 pandemic. They weren't allowed to really, they weren't supposed to really go out. Exactly. They weren't supposed to go out in crowds, etc. So they also would have felt like a serious psychological impact.
Definitely.
So that's why it's something that I hold near and dear to me, doing that, because I have elderly parents, so I understand. It's nice because a lot of times some people, they don't even get visitors.
Exactly.
So just being able to go over and bring that chair. In fact, the gentleman, he said, "Nicole, I have not had this much activity at home in years."
Yeah.
So I know he really appreciated it.
That's so wonderful. So we're looking at this not just being something of course, giving, but also, I mean, this is an act of assisting mental health as well.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. Literally. And mental health is my field. I mean, I'm a counselor, but I'm also a guidance counselor.
Okay.
So it's something that's near and dear to me.
Wonderful. So that means with most of the projects that you do, you're able to see that perfect balance and mix between the both.
I try to. Everything I do, even with the children, there's always a lesson. I just don't, for example, with the second initiative,
Right.
this one was a little more fun. It was a kids' Christmas pajama movie night, right?
Pajama movie nights. We got it.
Who doesn't love a good Christmas movie?
It's the best part, or well, one of the best parts of the season.
Exactly. And who doesn't love a good cozy pajama?
Of course.
So I combined the two. And they came out, the children. This is the 2nd year. We did it before COVID. And I'm so happy that we were able to come back again and have everybody gather and be, fun and be cozy with each other. We did it at the St. Francois Girls College. The kids came out in their pajamas. Mummies came out in their pajamas. Everybody laid their blankets on the floor. And we had this huge 30-foot screen looking at the Muppet Christmas.
I was waiting. I was about to say, what movie did you choose?
Yes. Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
So it was really nice. Of course, we had popcorn, because it's a movie, popcorn, hot dogs, cotton candy. And of course, at the end, the fire services came with Santa. And the children went crazy.
Oh my goodness. Now, this all sounds so incredible from, dealing with both ages. You're dealing with the senior citizens and the youth as well. But what about what it takes from you and from your office to be able to put these things on?
I think a lot of people don't recognize how difficult doing an event is. It takes a lot of planning, months in advance sometimes, because sometimes you have to reach out to sponsors, you have to get volunteers, because it is a labor of love. As I say, we don't pay persons, but we do get volunteers. So it's a lot of work. I want to just say thank you to my assistant, Cavell. Shout out to Cavell. But for me, it not only financially it takes money, but also physically, because I'm very hands-on.
Right.
I'm not one of those people to say, okay, do this. I'm there pulling the chairs, doing the actual labor. But I enjoy it. But I'm happy that it's done because I can rest now, let's be honest. But it really was something, seeing the children come in and the excitement. Looking at the movie when Santa came, and there was a segment where we allowed them to sing. One young lady sang the Mariah Carey song word for word, just that excitement, and they were dancing. So that to me is something that was really heartfelt.
The joy is radiating from you.
Yeah. That's me. I'm a very happy person, and doing those things adds to my joy.
And I think the beautiful thing about what you mentioned earlier with having these events and reaching out to everybody within the community is the fact that you're also continuing to foster relationships between those within. Because correct me if I'm mistaken, but would you say that there are those in the community that may not have actually met, perhaps, or interacted if it had not been for events like this?
Perhaps. I mean, you wouldn't be able to meet everybody because there are over maybe, 5,000 people in my community. About 4,000 to 5,000 people, so obviously you wouldn't meet everybody on a normal basis. But when you basically make that clarion call, hey, come to this event. A lot of people who have children, they come and then you get to meet them, interact with them, take their numbers, they take your numbers. So now you made that relationship and they are able to reach out to you more easily.
So we've spoken about what you're doing for the Christmas period.
Yes.
And I know that you are definitely a woman that you ensure that there are things that go on throughout the year. So what else do you have coming up, let's say in 2023? Because I don't think we have that much time.
No.
2022?
Yeah. Well, okay. So a lot of people give out hampers during Christmas. That's fine and that's good. But I recognize that people really feel the pinch in January.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to do some of that in January to help persons as they come down. We have January has 100 days. It feels so long, and so I'm trying to help persons in January with that. But also, what I'm very excited about, once again, seniors. I really enjoy helping these persons. Is we're going to do a Bridging the Gap age gap event where I'm partnering with Mylat. So Mylat, the young man, and the seniors, they're going to meet up. We're going to carry them over to Mylat, the seniors, and have a games evening with them, bingo, and just to cheer them up. Because once again, mental health, a lot of them haven't been able to go out and interact. And yes, I'm looking forward to that. That's
an incredible initiative to hear about. I mean, Mylat has, of course, been a topic of conversation a lot over the past few months, of course, with things that we've seen happening in schools and really wanting to be able to reach out to our children and help them, for want of a better expression, turn their life around.
Right.
So to hear that now you are going to be marrying your passion of mental health with the children and also their mental health, that is just fantastic to hear.
Well, you see, the thing about it is that because of my background as a guidance counselor, I always see things in that perspective. So mental health, emotional health, balance, that's a big thing for me. But as I said, for my seniors within my community, I recognize that some of them really did struggle. And as I said, we speak about the children a lot, but we forget that the mental health of the senior citizens within the community.
We really do. And good on you as well for being able to, even with the pause with COVID-19, bring these initiatives back to life, because we've seen so many initiatives suffer because of that. And as you mentioned a little bit earlier, sponsorship does become an issue. How long would you say it took you to really rally sponsors and organize these two events for the season?
We started writing letters to corporations probably about 3 months ago. Because, I mean, around this time, everybody is asking.
Right.
So you kind of have to be quick on the ball. So we wrote about 3 months ago, and we did get some positive feedback. So yeah, we were able to at least get some assistance in carrying out the initiatives.
That's wonderful to hear, and it's good to see also that there's investment coming with sponsorship as well, because, you know, as I say, it's a guava season, Christmas. And again, another thing that is commendable is what you're doing in January, because as you said, you just mentioned it, those 100 days of January. A lot of financial advisors say, listen, don't even look at your December salary, but the reality is...
How could you not? Exactly.
How well are hampers received by your community? Do you find that you have like an outstanding line of people, or?
Yes, of course. During, for example, the height of the pandemic,
Right.
With the help of the Ministry of Agriculture, we were constant. Every month we were giving out hampers because people were really struggling. So I know that some persons have not actually been able to get out of that yet. They have not gotten re-employed. Some people have a lot of children, so definitely the hampers come in handy.
Yeah, they really do.
And persons are very appreciative.
That's beautiful to hear. So what has the response been like from your community? Because, I mean, to have a break for 2 years and then have these great events at the Christmas season back to back, and also knowing what's coming in January and what else may be in the pipeline for the rest of the year, how does the community work with you and respond to you on that?
I love my community. I know Ruckus knows that. I love my community. And persons work with me. In fact, some persons even volunteer to help.
Okay. Because
they're just very happy that, okay, we're able to do things again. We're back on stream, so they volunteer. In fact, for the senior citizens cleanup, a lot of people from the Belmont area helped. For the Christmas event, children's Christmas event, a lot of people helped as well. So I think that they're looking forward to these initiatives, because at the end of the day, I mean, who doesn't also like a good little free party or free event? Let's be real. So they're looking forward to it. So I have a lot of support from within my community.
That's good to hear, and it's good to hear that you're continuing to build those relationships with your community as well, and getting the younger generation involved as well. We see, you know, as the older generation, I'm going to say it, and even some of us as well, you know, we look at the younger generation and we say, you know, what's really going on? And why are you making these decisions? But not considering that the guidance is necessary. And guidance doesn't necessarily have to be stringent. Guidance can be, as you said,
being a role model as well. Just simply being a good example.
So share with us something. This initiative that you have with choosing an elderly home going in, how did this start for you?
I'm thinking back. Whenever, I don't know if this is for you, but for me, whenever you think about volunteerism, you always picture somebody painting somebody's house
or building something.
Yeah. So I was like, why not have that within Belmont? So in 2019 it was, 2019. I thought, well, why not do that? And we kind of we tried to find a senior citizen, put it on social media, and persons suggested a lot of different persons, and we did the checks, we did site visits, and we were able to choose the right person.
Is it like one of those HGTV moments where somebody walks in and they're like, all right, we're going to redecorate your house today?
Kinda, you know. I mean, we give them a little bit of notice. But yeah, basically, and they're always very excited, very appreciative. I think, honestly though, they're more appreciative, not of necessarily the repainting, which is obviously important, but just having that company for that day. The music we bring, the chair, we might bring a hamper, we might just the young people around them, they are very excited about it, the senior citizens, more than the painting, and that's why human connection is so important.
It is so important, and it's so beautiful to see you're establishing that, because again, as things have changed, COVID happens, apathy is something that we see rife throughout our country and world.
Definitely.
You need to be able to establish those bonds. And also, I mean, we don't think sometimes that those bonds between the young and the old are what's going to drive our community forward. Tell us about MyLat, because that is something, I mean, well, you know, it piqued my interest, right? The MyLat connection with the older generation. How did you go about that? Was this something that just came to mind given your background?
Well, yes, but also I would have worked with MyLat. Just this year, the young men at MyLat wrapped my gifts for me.
Very good.
I mean,
Good job, young man.
Yes, and they were so efficient, so meticulous. So, and also saved me from wrapping 200 gifts. But they are always so very willing. So I thought I would love to see. I'm actually very curious as well to see how they would interact with the senior citizens.
Yeah.
But it's also a teaching moment for them, and even for the senior citizens, it's a teaching moment for them because they can also learn from the young people.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not bridge that generational gap?
Definitely. Nicole, one more question I'd just like to pose to you before we wrap this morning. You have mentioned that you are a guidance counsellor as well as a counselor,
Right. Yes.
let's say. And many times we don't get insight into the fact that counsellors work more than one job. So could you just share perhaps with us this morning what it's like or some of the key components you have to take into consideration being able to balance being a counsellor for an area and being a employed woman, working
I always
woman?
joke about it, saying that's my counselor guidance, counselor balance.
Yeah.
It is very hectic because even though a local government representative is supposed to be a part-time job, it definitely does not feel part-time because, at the end of the day, if someone from your community is calling you, you're not going to say, listen, I'm off. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm off duty. No, you're going to listen to them. You're going to try to solve any problems that they may encounter. So sometimes, I will not lie, it is very hard because it's demanding.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. And politics is once you don't do exactly what persons want, they get angry with you. So for me, I'm an empath. So I get really sad when I'm not able to help people really quickly. So it takes a sort of an emotional toll on me. But I enjoy it when I am able to help people. So I really enjoy the balance. I really do.
It's definitely a calling and a labor of love.
I think so.
Nicole, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And all the best for 2023.
You too. Thank you.
Trinidad and Tobago, this is the Now Morning Show. We are taking your calls after this break, 622-4010. Let us know, how are you keeping the Christmas spirit alive? Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.